Hey there guys, Exxz here, back again with another video for you. Today we'll be taking a look at the classic WoW etiquette, the way that you're supposed to act when interacting with other people. There are basically certain rules that you need to uphold. If you fail to uphold these rules, you're probably not gonna get invited to a lot of dungeon groups or maybe even guilds, and you're not gonna have a fun experience when playing classic WoW. But before we get into the video, if you like the content that I'm creating here, make sure to subscribe to my channel and to hit that thumbs up button. It would really help me out a lot. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. First up, let's talk about the dungeons. They are much more challenging in Classic WoW than they are in Current, and because of this, you won't be able to just run in and tank and spank everything. You're gonna have to coordinate a little bit with your DPS and with your healers and what mobs you need to pull, what mobs you need to kill first, and so on. Because of this, things can get out of hand pretty easily. You can easily be feared into a pack of mobs, or there's gonna be a patrol coming your way and you might not see it and you accidentally pull it. If this does happen, just make sure that you help your group however you can. If you have a taunt, make sure that you taunt off one mob off of your tank. If you have heals, support your healer. If you're a DPS, make sure that you CC the mobs that are endangering your tank. Basically, just help in any way you can. It might save you from a wipe, and your group is definitely going to be grateful. Another thing to keep in mind when running dungeons is to know what loot is appropriate for you. It's not uncommon to see items in vanilla that have stats all over the place, both intellect, stamina, spirit, and strength, all on the same item. So just make sure that when you're rolling for items that you're rolling for the appropriate item for you, because it might be actually a better upgrade for another player in your group, and if you actually accidentally roll for that item and you get it, some people might not feel very good about it. Now, when it comes to bind and equip items or recipes, every now and then they're gonna drop throughout your dungeons. When that happens, if you need to use that item, if you want to use that item or recipe, just make sure that you ask in your group before you need on it. People are in most cases, they're gonna let you need on it and they're gonna let you get it. And once you do, just make sure that you either learn the recipe or that you equip the item so that you show a sign of good faith. And to prove that you didn't scam your group. Now, while doing dungeons, oftentimes you're gonna come across a chest, and that chest contains probably an item or two, maybe a few trading materials, and then some food or drinks or whatever it may be. If you come across this kind of chest, just make sure that everybody in your party knows that you've come across one, and so that everybody can roll for it. It's not okay for you to just run in and to take the chest for yourself, because other people are a part of that dungeon as well, and it would be fair for everybody to roll for it and to see whoever is gonna win it. Also, when going through dungeons, make sure that you let your tank pull. Don't pull for him, because aggro in Classic WoW is going to be much bigger issue than it is in Current WoW, and it's going to be a lot harder for the tank to take aggro from either a healer or a DPS, whoever it may be that pulled. So don't rush in without the tank and without the CCs, because that might wipe your group and you don't want to run all the way back to your dungeon. While doing dungeons in Classic WoW, oftentimes people are gonna mark all of the mobs that either need a CC, that are priority targets, or whatever. Make sure that you follow the rules of attacking priority targets and of actually CCing, because if you don't, you might pull aggro from your tank and mobs might actually kill you. You don't want that, because that might cause a wipe for your dungeon group. Once you reach max level and you start raiding, make sure that you have everything that you need for that raid. I say this because there's a lot of items that you're gonna have to bring to a raid. More or less, there's 15 mandatory consumable items that you're gonna have to bring to each and every raid. And on top of that, you still have your resistance gears and whatnot, everything that you can basically use in your raid. Make sure that you bring everything and that you know everything that there is to know about the raid, because 39 other people are counting on you to know everything and to stay on top of things, because you can easily ruin the experience for that 39 people if you don't have all of the consumables, if you don't have the appropriate gear, and so on. If you're playing a class that can actually support other players in your group, make sure to do so. Mages can conjure food and water. Warlocks can summon people to the actual instance. They can conjure health stones. There's a lot of stuff that you can do in order to help your group out, and people are gonna remember this. They're gonna remember you as a guy that conjured them some food, or if you summoned them. Those small things actually really matter, and they go a long way when playing Classic WoW. Another great thing that you can do while, I don't know, playing a warrior or a rogue, say that you have a mana potion drop in a dungeon. You can definitely just trade it to your healer because he's gonna have more use of it than you are. I mean, you're probably gonna make, I don't know, a few silver on it, but if you actually give it to your healer, it can save you from a wipe and potential corpse walk all the way back to the dungeon. Maybe it can save your group from falling apart. Who knows? And I mean, same goes for the other DPS as well. If you have a health potion dropping in your dungeon group, make sure to pass it on to your tank, because he's taking all of the damage all the time. He's probably gonna have more use of it than you are. Okay, now let's talk about the open world a bit. If you're playing a class that can buff other people, I would definitely advise you to do so. If you see someone passing by and you see he doesn't have the buff that you can provide, throw them that intellect or stamina or whatever the buff may be, because it might go a long way. Because a lot of things are a lot harder in Classic WoW than they are in current. That extra few stamina might actually mean life or death for that player if he overpulls or if he does something that he didn't intend to do. Also, if you see someone struggling while he's leveling, if he overpulled a bit or if he did something that's gonna make him die, don't just run past him and ignore him. Try to run in and help him out. If you can, just heal him up or tank some mobs for him or just support him with your DPS. There's a lot of things that you can do that can actually save that player, and that can go a long way. You never know. You might make a new friend, you might make a new buddy that's just gonna help you with leveling for a little while. You never know what's gonna happen. So just make sure that you help other people out. Same thing goes for PvP. If you see a small skirmish going on, and there's definitely going to be a lot of those, don't just run past them and ignore other people. I mean, sure, if you don't really want to PvP, then you can do it, but if you see your faction struggling a bit, just run in and help them out, and they're definitely going to be grateful. You're going to feel that sense of your faction pride, I guess, a little bit, and it can go a long way when making new friends as well, because if you actually help people and you save them the corpse run and dying, you're going to have more fun, you're gonna farm some honor. There's no downsides in actually doing it. Just make sure that you don't camp players, because that's definitely not fun for the receiving end. You wouldn't be very happy if somebody camped your corpse, so try not to do it to others, at least not on low levels. Also, while leveling or farming, try not to steal other people's minions, items, nodes, herbs, or whatever it may be. If you see a player clearing the way towards a mining node or towards a herbing node, don't steal it from them. Just take some time, see if they're gonna actually mine it. If they do, then okay, no one's lost. If they don't actually mine it and they were only clearing the mobs around in the area, then you're free to go to it and to get it for yourself. Same goes for questing. A lot of times in Classic WoW, you're going to be required to clear a certain area of mobs before you can actually reach the quest objective, and it can be kind of annoying if you see other players just running in and stealing your kill before you actually get to do it. So if you see a player in a questing hub before you actually got into it, make sure that he does his part first and then you can do yours. Or if the player wants to, just form a group with him, and that way you can finish your quest both at the same time. While playing Classic WoW, oftentimes you're gonna have either a lockbox dropping that needs unlocking, or you're gonna want to get to a certain place fast, so you're gonna ask for a mage to open up a portal for you, or to maybe conjure some food or drinks. And if you do so, just make sure that you leave a tip for the player providing the service for you. Keep in mind that they also have to spend some time in order to do stuff for you, and some of the spells actually even require some of the reagents. So mages, for example, are spending gold when they are opening portals for you. So just keep that in mind and always try to tip players when they're doing stuff for you. And that's about it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you liked my video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. It would really help me out a lot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.